I was talking to a client today and they mentioned how their CEO, their manager, tends to really flare up, and sometimes they're very nice, sometimes they get really upset. There's no really reason and rhyme to their behavior, how this is really demotivating for them. Upon discussing a bit further and going deeper into what's really going on, I realized that they want to find an airtight argument for how the CEO is really not behaving well with the team and present an argument to them and fight with them and get them changed. This is one approach that does not work. People don't change often because of a strong reason they are given, especially if their personalities need to be shifted. We came up with 3 things that they can do to shift the CEO's behavior. Number 1, do not talk on other people's behalf. When people tend to make an argument, they talk about how this person, the CEO, is behaving badly with this person and me and all that. Upon talking with my client, we realized that different people have different way of getting motivated. It is demotivating for them when the CEO is behaving that way, but for some people it might be working. So we don't know what's going on with other people. Talk about your own self, how it is affecting you. Don't talk on other people's behalf. And you are an expert in what you are feeling, how it affects you, but not about other people. Number 2, and this is very counterintuitive, is talk about small stuff. A lot of times we want to find big problems in people's behavior and have an airtight argument and ask them to change that. And many times people wait a long time before something really dramatic happens. And then they want to talk about this, but they are not prepared to talk about that. Talking about small stuff is whenever they do something that is affecting you, you just talk about that small things, and they happen often enough. If the person is behaving not properly, it happens often enough, and we get a lot of iterations in speaking about that. As we talked about in a previous video about mature communication, just because you ask for it doesn't mean you definitely want to get it. It's about bringing it up to their attention, talking about small stuff, talking about how it affects you. And the third thing is, do not give reasons. It sounds a bit dramatic, do not give reasons, but the point is, don't make reasons the bedrock of your argument. Reasons are very subjective, especially when they come to soft areas, how they affect you, how they make you feel, how they demotivate you. There are no good reasons. The CEO is also doing this because of some reasons he has in his own head. So we want to talk about our preferences. I prefer not being treated that way. It demotivates me, how I feel. So instead of giving reasons, we are letting them know how it affects us and how we need something different from the situation. So there you have it. When there is a conflict with somebody and somebody is not treating you with respect, not treating you in a way you like to be treated, follow these 3 things. Don't talk about how it's affecting other people. Talk about yourself. Talk about small stuff. Get the reps under your belt. Get practice of talking about these things, because it's emotionally hard to even bring these things up with people. Get the reps by talking about small stuff. And finally, don't give reasons per se. You can give some reasons here and there, but mostly talk about your preference, your feelings, and nobody can argue with those. I have a need to be treated with respect. I prefer that way, not give reasons too much. If you decide to adopt these methodologies, if you decide to adopt this process, I would love to hear from you how it works for you and if you see any changes. I look forward to hearing from you.